Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Blades of Avernum. Last episode, we completed another scenario. Although I feel like we completed it the wrong way, because it was effectively a failure. We failed to protect a town, even if it was a town of religious zealots, and the one who perpetrated it got away. And the ogres are probably going to be killed eventually. So, it's time to move on to the next scenario. A scenario that was mentioned as the first one that this guy Smoo ever created. Backwater Calls. The Curses of Being Famous. Being an adventurer isn't always glamorous. In fact, picking your jobs isn't even that free, at least if you're successful and famous. You're approached by a special agent for the Empire. He has a job for you. He explains the basics. You're to go to a remote area known as Farron Grove and find out why the Empire hasn't heard from its iron shipments in months. Assuming you could decline such a boring task, you say no. Then the agent explains that when the first iron shipment didn't arrive, nothing was done because it wasn't considered that important. The Empire bureaus thought the iron vein had been exhausted, but when no message indicating this possibility reached the Empire, the agents started to gather an exploration party of soldiers. Alas, Empire bureaucracy is intolerably slow, so someone decided that adventurers would be appropriate for a place like Farron Grove. You were picked because of your reputation. The task was assigned to you. You cannot decline it. So you hear the agent out for the details of your mission. Farron Grove has always been considered to be in a more rebellious mood than your average Empire region. Therefore, there is a possibility that rebels have taken over Farron Grove. This is, however, very unlikely. Even though rebellion is doubtful, it is the only reason why the Empire sought out competent adventurers. If rebels have taken over Farron Grove, your job is to put them to the sword. The more obvious reason is the exhaustion of the iron vein, but the chief liaison of Farron Grove was instructed to send a message if the shipments would ever be delayed. Your job is to find out what happened. Because Farron Grove is a long way away and you're not even provided horses, you set out at dawn. Your destination? Fort Laramie. The trip will be a tedious month indeed. But something unexpected occurs on the trip. When you are no more than a week's journey away from Fort Laramie, you spot a huge flock of vultures in the distance. The vultures could have been feeding on anything, but they're eating human flesh. Fort Laramie here, our destination. Report to Griffin. Grimson is the main administration. Norton, Sattel, and the iron mines. Oh boy. You find an entire caravan of people slaughtered. Among the ruined caravans, you find crates of iron bars. Search around the massacre reveals no tracks at all. The caravan was destroyed several months ago. And if this wasn't bad enough, a few more days' worth of traveling reveals yet another destroyed caravan, this time a more fresh one. This time the search reveals tracks leaving the scene, tracks of small humanoids. You make haste towards Fort Laramie. You need to find out what is happening in Farron Grove. You reach Fort Laramie at night. The fort is surrounded by a flimsy stockade which could be chopped to pieces using a woodsman's axe. The guards let you in after you explain them the reason for your presence. They point you to an inn. Tomorrow you'll get some answers. Alright. We've got gear of our own. Decent amount. On to force cage. I don't remember how I set this up. This is a group. We have some gear. Steel axe. This must be a group that actually finished a scenario somewhere. Probably one of... I can't remember his name. Alright, either way. Well, that's a nice little... yoink and... yoink. The owner of the inn is a spirited middle-aged woman. Although she doesn't have that many customers, she is busying herself quite nicely. When she sees you, she turns her attention on you. So, you finally got up, strangers. Did you sleep tight? So is there anything I can get for you? What services you provide? Nothing special. Beer, some food, and of course a room to spend the night in. But as you have already but as you already have my only free bed, I can't really offer that. The inn only has one room? That's right, and the one room is hardly ever used. We don't get many visitors in Faringrove, so new faces are kinda rare. Mostly soldiers travel here. Don't worry about the bill on the room, by the way. For some reason, Commander Griffith wanted to cover your bill. Are you on a secret mission? There's nothing secret about it. Apparently you people have had trouble sending iron to the Empire. Carol is surprised. What do you mean? The caravans have left on time. You tell her what you saw on your way here. The destroyed caravans, goblin tracks, all of it. Carol is clearly shocked about the news. But how? I mean... Oh my god, Ilian was on one of those caravans. And Flora! The news hit her hard. You decide not to bother her with further questions for the time being. What do you have to eat? Basic food. Do we even have any? We have a bit of food. I guess that'll be fine. Any rumors you could tell? No, you seem to know more about the issues of Faringrove than I. Those poor, unfortunate people. How's business? Oh, slow. Very, very slow. I don't get many visitors, and the soldiers don't usually buy anything. They got their own canteen, you see. An unclean man in his 40s is sitting at the table in the inn. He constantly looks around him and occasionally takes a swig from his mug. Seeing you approach, he spits the ground and nods. I'm Harold. What do you want? What do you do around here? Pah! I'm trying to get out of here is what I'm doing. Should have been in Grimson last week. Those damnable soldiers won't let me out. You should have left? Well, you see, I'm sort of a traveler. Sort of, because I only travel within Faringrove. I have this schedule. Spend a week in Fort Laramie, then a week in Grimson, then in Norton, then Saddle, then Fort Laramie again, and so on. Cursed soldiers, they won't even tell me why I can't leave. Bunch of Empire... Harold leaves the sentence at that, looks around quickly to see if anyone heard him, then he coughs loudly. You see, I do a bit of odd jobs here and there to earn my living. Why won't the soldiers let you leave? I don't know. Here's what I've been thinking. Harold motions you to lean closer. I think they're all fighting something. There's fewer people here than usual. Now don't go on asking me what they're fighting, because I don't know that. It's probably something dangerous. You don't like the Empire? No, you misunderstood me. Why, the Empire is the greatest thing that has ever happened to our fair valley, so let us not talk about that anymore. Where's Grimson? You happen to be in luck, strangers. You see, I happen to have a map of this entire region, and I'll be willing to sell it to you for a fair price of 20 gold. Sounds like a fair price. I'll take it anyway. Harold eagerly pockets your money and hands you a map. Pleasure doing business with you. Faringrove map. Okay. I like this. This is just like the maps we saw in Avernum 3, in the third one. Oh, looks like that's like an isolated area. Forest over here, forest here. River going around the entire area. Okay. Sheik, you can hold on to that. Draco, you've got 5 energy potions, and you've got 5 energy potions, and 1 bomb of life. Plenty of herbs. We can probably make a few things. Wand of fire. Why are you holding this? What scenario did I play this group with? Yeah, no matter. You meet a soldier of Fort Laramie. He's no different from any other soldier of the Empire you've met so far when it comes to his equipment. He looks concerned, though. You chat with him for a while about Faringrove and such. When it comes to speaking of the fort, the soldier suddenly seems hesitant to talk. You get a few short answers, but learn nothing of the situation of the fort. Okay. So, just from our short time in the inn, it turns out that whatever is happening to the caravans, the guy in charge here is not telling anyone about it and is keeping it a secret. Hopefully just to prevent panic. You step outside of the inn, taking a good look at the fort. Looks different in daylight. For one thing, it looks as if it's deserted. Soldiers are nowhere to be seen. The fort is quiet, apart from a bark now and then. The Jolly Trooper. Ooh, a dog! A sporty little pup is running around in a pen the soldiers have built for it. It is the mascot of the fort. When it notices it has company, it runs to the fence and jumps around, barking excitedly. Ruff! Good boy, pet the dog. The dog barks happily, thrilled at all the attention it's getting. You watch the puppy play around some and then leave. Okay, that's a thing. Huh. Can't go out the north side. It's interesting. Really? Too low? You got tool use 15. I guess we may need to up your tool use. Ooh. You meet the captain of Fort Laramie. She's in her 30s, quite strongly built, and looks very frustrated. She is currently gazing at the horizon, keeping a watch for something. "What do you want?" she says in a not-so-friendly way. Her voice is hard and bitter. "Anything interesting happening?" She rolls her eyes and ignores you. "So you're the captain?" She takes a deep breath and, if possible, looks even more annoyed. Someone's in a bad mood. She immediately turns at you with squinted eyes and an angry expression all around. "Why, is it me? Could it be that I'm in a foul mood? Oh my, have I offended the strangers by being rude? Well, you'd be angry too if you were stuck in this fort while there are goblins roaming free." There are goblins here? "Of all the creatures in the world, yes, goblins. You've entered the only fort in the world that is being under siege by goblins. It's unbearable. They destroy one patrol, and suddenly we need to stay inside and not hunt the vermin down." I mean, nothing. Forget it." A patrol was wiped out by goblins? "No, forget I said anything." She turns away from you. She is obviously not supposed to say anything about the patrol. "Why not simply find the goblins' lair and kill them?" "Yes, why not? Go and ask our brave commander that." That is something I'd like to know. What's going on around here? Because it seems there's something strange. Something the commander doesn't want to talk about. What is this strange thing going on? Alright. Let's start around here. What is this, a barracks? Oh, this is a canteen for the barracks. The cook of the fort is a sturdy man with thin mustache. He doesn't have much to work with in the kitchen, but he is still pacing back and forth. He's currently ignoring you. "Could I speak to you for a second?" "Please do not bother me. I am working hard in order to feed the masses." "So you're the cook of the fort?" The cook stops for a moment, breathes heavily, and turns to you. "I am no mere cook, I assure you. If you have ever tasted my delicacies, you certainly wouldn't say that. I am a chef, you remember that." He sniffs the air loudly and continues his work. Someone's kind of full of himself. Okay, that's the barracks. We'll go there after. Warehouse A. You take a look at the equipment in the warehouse. Put bluntly, it's junk. While an inexperienced adventurers might consider this a bounty, you've seen far better. This doesn't make you optimistic on what else you might find in Farron Grove. Yeah, we don't need to take any of this. And we've got a crap ton of money right now. Warehouse B. I mean, the iron plate mail is pretty damn valuable. And the iron halberd isn't bad either. You got a steel pike, which is better than the iron halberd. The iron plate mail is pretty damn good. In fact, it's better than the... Well, I mean... Okay, that I'm going to keep on you. You... I think I'd rather take the iron plate mail. That does 30 damage to attackers, sure, but that's not that great. I'd rather use that. It gives a lot more protection. Instead of 1 to 40 plus minus 10, which is effectively 1 to 30, this is 1 to 40 plus 5, which is 60 to 45. That's much better. I guess I can sell this. So I'm going to wear this instead. How much... I don't know if you'll be encumbered. You might be. Probably would be. Probably something we'd have to sell. Forget it. Alright. This is a barracks. It's just a barracks. Ah, that must be the captain. You meet the commander of Fort Laramie. He is rather short, yet strongly built. He eyes you quickly. For some reason, he looks very nervous, as if something is bothering him. "Welcome to Fort Laramie. You are agents working for the Empire, yes? I'm Commander Griffith. What brings you to our backwater little valley? Griffith seems to have noticed the Slicerakai in your party. He can't stop staring at them. Is there something wrong with us? No, well, yes. I'm sorry, I've just never seen a lizard that big walk on 2 feet before. Sorry, is it alright if I call you a lizard? Oh, why didn't we just forget I said anything? This is the first scenario I've seen in this game, really, aside from Basikava, I think, and that series, that actually... Well, did any of the other scenarios really take note of the fact that we had a Slith or a Nephil in our party? I can't remember. I know that Basikava in that series did, but the rest? Can't remember. Where can we buy some supplies? Well, the fort has an alchemist of its own. He can be found northwest of my office, and if you want to buy some food, then you might want to visit our kitchen. Not sure if we can spare any food, though. What can you tell me of this area? Farron Grove is a peaceful place. In all my years as commander of this fort, I've never seen anything dangerous, apart from a few carnivorous animals. Oh, and a handful of goblins every now and then. We were sent here to investigate the absence of your caravans. The commander pays close attention to you as you explain everything about the caravans and their absence in the past 6 months. When you mention the footprints, he interrupts you. By Hawthorne's beard, goblins, not the damn goblins! Goblins. We've had troubles with goblins for some time now. They come from the mountains east of here. I tried sending patrols there to get rid of the little rodents, but it's difficult to find anything in there. The mountains are filled with caverns. The goblins also seem to relocate their camp every week or so. We found several caverns that have clearly been inhabited by goblins, but they have always been empty. And that's not the worst of it. Are you sure these goblins aren't hill goblins? Absolutely. The tracks are smaller than your average hill goblin's tracks, and there has been no sight of hill goblins in Farron Grove ever. I'm positive, though, that these are no regular goblins. How else could they have beaten a patrol? What else has happened? The goblins used to just steal chickens or attack a lone house on the plains. But last week the goblins annihilated an entire patrol of my men. We found goblin tracks scattered around the destroyed patrol. I ordered the fort closed, and we are waiting for the goblins to attack us. That is an unusual order, and even more unusual would be if goblins attacked an Empire fort. We could try to find the goblins' lair. Griffith's eyes brighten up for a second, but then return to their normal state. No, I doubt that you could find the lair, but you are welcome to try, of course. Do not expect any help from me or my men. I cannot spare a single soldier in case of an attack. Talk to Rick at the gate. Give him this. Griffith writes something on a piece of parchment and hands it to you. He'll let you pass. So there's nothing you can do to help us? Well, of course there are the warehouses, but I doubt there's anything of use for you in there. Feel free to go through Warehouse B, though. Thank you. At least we can get some gear. And we have our quest. There's also the barracks. Captain Trewood. Okay. There's nobody in here. That must be the captain that's out on the walls. Okay, that didn't work. We need to up our tool use. Quite a bit, it seems. Benedict the Alchemist. This building is different from all the other buildings of the fort. Its walls are made of thick stone, and there is a faint smell of various herbs in the air. A mage is quickly moving around this room. He has various lab equipment scattered across the tables. He's probably making potions, but it's difficult to tell. You tap on his shoulder to get his attention. Ah, yes, the Adventurers. I am Benedict, the sage of Fort Laramie. What are you making? Oh, nothing special. Healing potions, strength potions, and so forth. I'm trying to find a way to make the potions more effective, though. No such luck so far. So you're a sage. Can you identify my equipment? For a small price, yes. I require a small fee since you're interrupting my work. Says on the sign next to your door that you're an alchemist. Alchemist, herbalist, sage, healer, wizard, whatever that requires some sort of knowledge. I'm the man you want to visit in this fort. Do you have some potions or herbs for sale, then? He does. Quite a few energy potions and the like, too. No elixirs, though, which is a bit sad. That's what I want, though. Do you have any spells you could teach us? I'm not a teacher, and besides, I doubt I could teach you anything. Aren't you adventurers always incredibly talented spellcasters, always finding ancient tomes and so forth? You're a healer. Well, no, not exactly, but I do heal every wounded soldier that is brought to me. I don't heal for money, however, if that's what you mean. It's a wide range of skills, but we don't need any of them right now. That's okay, I wasn't trying to make any money. Now, is there anything else? No, that's all, thank you. A sturdy soldier is pacing back and forth inside this building. There's a wheel which is used to open the gate. The soldier spots you. Hi, I'm Rick. I guard this wheel. He points at the wheel in the corner. Opens the gate, you see. Could you open the gate for me? Oh, no. I am not allowed to do that. Only people with permission can leave the fort. Where can I get permission, then? I don't know. No one's ever got permission. Suppose you should see the commander. Of course, you could always jump off an archer platform. Oh, but we wouldn't let you back in then. I've got permission. Let me pass. Rick snatches a paper from your hands and begins to read it. After some time, he says, okay, everything's in order, I think. Rick walks to the wheel and turns it. Be seeing you, I suppose. Feels like there's a hidden path in here or something. Could be enterable from the other side. Probably. If there is a hidden path there. We can go around this side. Well, hello! That's not something I expected to find back here. Well, okay then, let's take a look down the other side. See if there's anything there. Because this is how... Hold on a moment. Can we even go down that side? Looks like the answer is no. Farron Grove is a typical backwater. Land is not fertile, but it's not actually barren either. Small, swampy areas are everywhere, and by the sound of it, there's also some wildlife present. One thing that is missing from the roads is an Empire patrol. Whatever owns the lands near Fort Laramie, it has been able to do so freely for more than a week now. It was easy to recognize what these humanoids were from a distance. Goblins. They are quite sure of themselves when they march on the roads like this. As soon as they see you, they cry out in joy and charge at you. You draw your weapons. Well, these goblins are very quick and surprisingly tough. Very tough. This is highly unexpected. Cast it again. The fight is over. You clean your weapons. These goblins were not the regular kind. They looked like normal goblins, but somehow they were faster and stronger. That is very concerning. Grimson 40 miles north, Fort Laramie 1 mile south. Oh, hello, wargs! There go the wargs. Okay, that happened. Okay. Actually, you know what? This episode's gone on... Well, actually we have... No, I'm gonna end this episode here. Just as we start exploring through this place. Looks like there's a bit we can explore to the east as we slowly make our way towards Grimson, but mostly it's to the east we're gonna have to explore for now. We'll take a look along the west edge up to the north here and explore around. We'll see what we can find. That'll be in the next episode. So until then, I'm Chester44. That is Fox, Streak, Bonnie, and Draco. This has been a Blades of Avernum Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.